Hey, today we're talking about the truth about nightshade vegetables. Are they healthy? Are you having reactions to them? And what can you replace them with? Now, when it comes to nightshade vegetables, it's a whole classification of different types of vegetables. They're in the Solanaceae plant category, and they're things like tomatoes, eggplant, potatoes, bell peppers, spicy peppers like jalapenos, cayenne, habaneros, right? These are all parts of the nightshade family. Now, there's roughly about 0.8% or a little bit less than 1% of the population that has known nightshade allergies. That means when these people consume a nightshade, like say a tomato, they can literally have anaphylactic shock, right? So they get swelling, the heart starts to race, they get tachycardia, right? Could be life-threatening. So a little bit less than 1% of the population has that. Something like 1 out of 150 people have a real nightshade allergy. However, up to about 25% of the population has a low-grade sensitivity to nightshades. So certainly not everybody, the vast majority of people do fine with nightshades. In fact, nightshades offer some really good compounds. For example, in tomatoes, you have lycopene, which is a really powerful antioxidant compound in there. You got vitamin C in there. Bell peppers are some of the most vitamin C rich foods that you can consume. So there's a lot of nutritional benefits that come from nightshade vegetables. And for about 75% of the population, they're gonna feel good eating these nightshades. But there's 25% or so of the population where they're gonna have some sort of sensitivity. And what could it manifest in? For a lot of people, it's acid reflux. For a lot of people, they consume nightshades and now all of a sudden they gotta clear their throat all the time. They kind of have a burning sensation in their chest. They don't digest their food as well. They get indigestion, right? They don't feel good and they don't digest meals well, right? They're also, another common sensitivity reaction is actually joint pain. For a lot of people, when they consume nightshades, they have more joint pain. Their elbows, knees, everything starts to ache. So they just have more pain in their body. They don't recover from exercise as well. They just kind of have this low-grade inflammation throughout their system that's driving up pain in their body. For other people, they get headaches, right? Headaches are a really common symptom for individuals that have nightshade sensitivities. They eat these, an hour or two later, they have a headache, right? They feel really, really tired and have a headache oftentimes. And then for other individuals, they can't lose weight, right? So they get weight loss resistance, and that's because they're actually driving up some antibodies to their thyroid oftentimes. And so they end up with things like Hashimoto's and inability to produce enough thyroid hormone to drive mitochondrial energy production and an inability to burn fat for fuel. And that oftentimes is also associated with sluggishness, cold hands and feet, constipation, mental lethargy, right? Things like that. And so if you're noticing symptoms like that, see if it is the nightshades, right? For example, let's see how you feel after you have something with tomatoes in it. Maybe make a salad with tomatoes, see how you feel. Do you feel well later in the day, right? Or do you have some of these symptoms? And then try going a week without any nightshades. No potatoes, no bell peppers, no eggplant, no tomatoes, right? And just see how your body feels, see how you respond. If you feel better, you may be one of these people that just doesn't do as well with nightshades. And so if that's you, you would want to avoid them. Now, when it comes to nightshades, the key compound in them are these alkaloids, right? And so one of these glycoalkaloids is called solanine and the other one is tomatine, right? And those are found in bell peppers, they're found in tomatoes, right? Those are some of the most common areas where you're gonna find these. There's also alkaloids like capsaicin, which we find in cayenne pepper, for example, right? And capsaicin is associated with actually giving cayenne pepper its anti-inflammatory and anti-pain effects. For a lot of people, they'll take something like cayenne to help reduce pain. But for people that have nightshade sensitivities, it'll actually increase pain for these individuals. It'll increase something called substance P, which triggers nociceptor function in the neurons and increases pain, right? So their pain threshold comes down and they experience more pain in their body. So again, it could be, it's one of those things that it may have great health benefits for one individual, right? Like for example, your spouse may do great with this, but you don't, right? And this is kind of the individualized personalization that we've got to look at when it comes to our overall nutritional plan. So we've got to watch out for that. There's also nicotine. Nicotine is in these classification of alkaloids. So tobacco is a nightshade. And of course, tobacco is very high in nicotine, but you can also find nicotine in potatoes, but nowhere near the amount that you get in a cigarette, for example. Cigarette's about 12 milligrams of nicotine. That's about 18,000 times more than what you're gonna find in a potato. But potatoes have, particularly if it's a unripe potato, like a green potato, or mashed potatoes are gonna have higher amounts of nicotine than kind of your normal baked potato. But not enough to really trigger a major issue unless you have a significant sensitivity to the nicotine. So that's key there. Now, if you're part of this 25% or so of the population that has a nightshade sensitivity, what can you replace it with? Well, you may love, for example, tomatoes. You can replace tomatoes with carrots and beets. In fact, you can make a, kind of a pseudo tomato sauce with beets and carrots that doesn't have these nightshade compounds in them. Okay, so you could try that. You can also, for example, eggplant, you can replace with mushrooms. Bell peppers, you can replace with carrot, beet, with zucchini, celery, for example, right? There's a number of different replacements that you can use. Potatoes, you can replace with a sweet potato. Fortunately, a sweet potato is not a nightshade, right? A lot of people think it is. It's not a nightshade. So you can use sweet potatoes, you can use yams, pumpkins, butternut squash in replace of the potato, and get good nutritional compounds without these alkaloids that may be triggering symptoms. So again, look out for these symptoms. Many of you guys are listening to this, you have no issues at all with nightshades, you do great with them. Others really respond negatively with nightshades. You're having acid reflux, you're having headaches, you're having joint pain, and if you were to come off of those nightshades, it would make a big difference in your overall health. So experiment for yourself, see what you find, and follow a personalized diet nutrition plan so you can have optimal health today. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out my channel, browse the various videos that I've done on similar topics, and also make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. That way you get notified whenever I put up a new video training. Thanks so much for being a part of our community here, and I really hope you enjoy the videos that we're putting out on a regular basis. Be blessed.